R&B Money. We up. Tank. J Valentine. We are the authorities on all things R&B.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
I'm J Valentine.
And this is the R&B Money Podcast,
Yes, it
the
is.
authority
Come on.
on all things
Come on.
R&B.
Fix your beanie, man. When your beanie line coming out?
Man, we got my line of beanies is coming out soon. Everybody relax. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We've been working on this diligently. We got an R&B singer
Huh.
in the
on it.
house.
Songwriter.
Songwriter.
Vocal production.
Producer.
Put it together.
Performer.
Yeah. Artiste.
Artiste.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Cut himself.
Yeah. Always got on some cool pants, too.
Always keep a cool pantalone and a cool shade.
Yes.
One of the most talented brothers I've ever come across, man. Please, we got him here. Kenyon Dixon, ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah!
What's up, man?
Get out my goddamn
Yo.
comments asking for Kenyon Dixon. Okay?
Bro, if I would
niggas
be
here.
rich. I would be rich if I had $1 for every time somebody
Hey.
was like, when are you doing R&B?
Every time.
I see it. I see it.
But they was doing it like we don't know you.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
Yeah.
you do know that's family.
Have
like,
y'all heard of a guy?
Yeah, like,
Hey, man, you got to love him, man.
like,
Nigga, I've been knowing him longer than you.
trying to hit us over the head with Kenyon Dixon. If y'all was a real pod, y'all would have Kenyon Dixon wrote. I said, you know what?
Right.
Ruthless,
Okay.
man.
Nah, I love it though. That's real support.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
shit that we need as a independent artist as
100%.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or as Tyrese would say, cause I'm independent.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's right there.
Yeah,
you at the right level, too, with the deepness. Yeah.
Tyrese is not independent. Okay?
He got marble behind it.
He got marble.
Hey, yo, chill.
How a transformer
He
gonna
got
be independent?
fast 27 behind.
Fast Reese.
Oh, my
Out here
God.
talking about he independent.
Somebody, he furious talking about he independent.
Oh, my
Stop
God,
this shit, man. Kenyon, we've been doing this for a long time, man.
Yes, sir.
We've been on the road together. We've been in the studio together.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he got TGT stories too.
He got,
Oh, my God. Do I?
as you were kicking ass on stage during
you, man.
during that
Yes,
tour.
sir.
Let's just throw that out there.
Appreciate you.
But you know how we do. You know what I'm saying? Like we love to go back. You know, to the beginning as we were talking our church stories before.
Yeah.
You know, before the camera came on. We're not going to tell y'all all the stuff we was talking about. Just know you church people's in trouble. Where does it all start for Kenyon Dixon, man? Where does it all start? Where you identified that, you know, oh shit, I got something. I don't know if you said oh shit in church.
Yeah, probably not in church,
Or
but
somebody said,
you know what I
you know,
mean?
that damn boy right there, boy, I'm telling you.
Man, yeah, church, man. I'm born and raised in church. Cogic Kid. My mother is like still right now like a district evangelist. Like
No, she's
bro,
district.
like
Oh, yeah, she
it's
covered
serious.
ground.
It's for
Yeah.
real.
So it's a government in a sense?
Is
'Cause
it?
when you
Yeah.
say district, it's
Oh,
like
yeah,
I'm
man.
thinking of
they
like
got
you know,
jurisdictions.
Yeah, no, it's,
You know what I
it's
mean?
like Congress. Of
yes.
church.
essentially in local government. Man. That's
Who's
what
the
it feels
president
like.
of church?
There are
Look, I just threw y'all a
there-
curveball. Who's the president?
No,
Yeah.
there's no one president, but there are guys who are powerful that
Yeah.
sit on the board up top.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Bishops and you know what I'm
Patterson
saying?
and
Yeah.
Blake and
Yeah.
Okay, you throwing in
Yeah,
that.
yeah. No, I'm just
Yeah,
saying it's on the Cogic
Shout them
side.
out, baby.
Yeah,
Shout them
yeah,
out,
yeah.
man. You know what I mean?
I'm you know, I ain't Cogic no more, but that was my upbringing. But yeah, man, in church, my super musical family. I'm the youngest of 7 in total.
Shit.
6 of us grew up in the same household. Everybody's musically inclined to some extent. My pop's guitarist, quartet singer. My mother, she sings. So like, it started in church for sure, man. Singing in the youth choir and like, you know, leading songs.
When was your first solo? Or what was your first solo?
The song was I remember the lyrics. It's like, you say that you are my sheep, why aren't you following me? I can't think of what the name of the whole song is, but
yeah.
that was my first solo. But you know, crazy enough, even though it started in the church and it was genetic, like I didn't love it singing in church. It wasn't like, because I had a family full of singers.
Right.
So me being the youngest, I'm like, I don't want to, like, singing ain't really cool like that. Like, y'all all do it. I got to find something that, you know, I can do myself that y'all can't do, because that would make me feel better. So I think I didn't really like develop that love for singing until I was able to like step back from church a little bit and start like exploring on my own. That's when I really like fell in love with music, I would say.
Do you think, like, I mean, as most of us in church, you know, it starts off as very much a requirement, like, you know, a rule of the house. This is where you will be on Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, this is where you will be on Wednesday. This is where you will be on Saturday.
Yeah.
And this is where you will be on Sunday.
Yep. It was
And do you think that contributed to not feeling so great about it? Because it's just like, I gotta go to church, man.
Yeah, that I would say it did, man, because my parents were like, you know, they were also preachers, so they were heavily involved in the church. So my mother was like teaching Bible study. She was teaching YPWW and YWCC, all like the little programs for, you know, and we were at choir rehearsal. Like, so I was at church like Monday through Sunday pretty much, like doing homework on the pews, sleep in the back of the church, like, you know what I mean? And so I think it was, I also grew up in a project, so very different dynamic from the church setting, number one. So like what was happening outside and what I was exposed to, church just wasn't cool. That was just what I knew.
Because you're from Watts too, right?
Yeah. Born and raised in Jordan Downs. So like it wasn't cool necessarily, and not cool at school either. Like school culture was a lot different. You know, like the amount of kids that were okay with talking about that they went to church are like very small, but you kind of just listening like, oh, I identify, but I'm not gonna tell y'all that like this is this is my life. So I think for a long time, it I would say it contributed to it because I felt like this wasn't cool. Like outside of here, like nobody, the majority of the people around me in my daily life don't share this experience. Like I'm seeing what they're doing. I'm seeing their parents pull up playing all of the music I want to listen to, you know what I mean? And your parents pull up, you get in the car and they got John P. Key on. Like it's like it was different. It was different culture, you know what I mean? So I think when I got the opportunity to step away from it, I was like happy because I felt like, all right, cool. Now I finally get to like do what I want to do.
Find some of your
own. Was your household like Cain's and Menace Society?
So they,
it's Jordals.
They shot that in the projects.
So, and he had the grandfather that was, you know.
Have you ever given any thought to where
I know what you're doing out there, I know what
you're doing. Man, it was, again, that outside dynamic was definitely like comparable, but inside of the house, like my mother used to make us like pray as a family before we left for school in the morning. Like I had the most Cogic parents, like you could ever have, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so like, they cracked the whip in the house.
So as soon as you walked out that door,
I was a different person.
Because I've been to your projects before.
Yeah.
I don't care how much church you going to. When you better have some
other shit on you too. Yeah.
It's a whole nother world.
And it had to be too, because the thing about it, like, I mean, you know, like I'm from the hood, so gang culture is, you know, what it is. Once you're, especially in like middle school, you kind of gotta roll with your people because also like what's interesting and unique. So
you was Cogic Cuz from
Cogic
Jordan Down.
I'm changing my name. I'm changing all my handles. Cogic Cuz. That's it, bro.
I've been known to make up names, man.
I'm rolling with that one. I'm rolling with Cogic Cuz, man.
Oh, that's great.
But the unique thing about Watts is that, you know, there are like 4 different like main projects that share a lot of the same spaces. Like one of the high schools is Jordan High is connected to my projects. Like, so we had middle schools, like I went to Markham for a second, and that one, you got people from every hood like going to the schools. So the crazy thing about like growing up in the hood is like when you went there, they had to know like where you were from because you had to kind of like roll with your people.
The school did.
Everybody at the school.
They
kind of had to know like, oh, you from this area. Because if not, you get back home, you're going to have trouble in your own neighborhood because everybody is kind of...
It was prison. It's prison.
Yeah. That's actually a good way to...
It's exactly... If you think about it, so they were preparing some of these students for what they would have to do at reception.
That's the school to prison pipeline too.
Right.
That's where it starts.
And most of us don't even think of it in those ways.
Yeah.
But that's literally already programming.
Yep. Literally on the yard, and you stay in your corner with your people, you know what I mean? And it was just like, it was like an unspoken territorial thing, because it's like, where you're from over here, just naturally, you don't talk to them. That's
This
not
where
what
you
we
eat
do.
lunch,
Yeah.
this where you...
So,
Your tables,
Yep. But the whole time, I'm a church kid.
Right.
So like, imagine that. I'm here like, I'm from my area, but like, it's like, I can't even listen to the music y'all listening to. And I'm over here like having to, say like, this is my area, which is...
Was there anyone else, even just not even at school, but even in the Jordan Downs, that went to church with y'all? Or were y'all literally the church house?
We were for sure the church house.
Yeah.
We were for sure the church house. There's also, our church wasn't in the neighborhood though. So I went to church, grew up in a church called Grace Chapel on 84th and Broadway.
Okay.
And so whole different hood, by the way, that also translates, gang culture is gang culture. It don't matter where you are.
Yeah.
So also going to church over there, a lot of activity, because you're in a completely different hood. So you have people from everywhere coming to church, but you got to still watch your surroundings. So like,
I mean, y'all crazy out here,
bro, it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
there was a church called Holy Tabernacle. That was like the project church. That's the church all the gangbangers would go to on Sunday. But like, you just go because on Sundays you're supposed to go to church. You know what I mean? So everybody.
So there's a gang church,
Bro,
Holy Tabernacle.
in every hood.
No, but that one, just even the name of it is like,
because this one was right. This one was right on the side of the projects, like in the back streets. It was right there. So it was like, and then like we talked about this off camera, but ministry and outreach then was going into the neighborhoods,
right?
And so that's how everybody knew to come to these churches. It's like, if y'all ever want to come and have a different experience, this is the church over here. But see, like, we didn't need that because I was born and raised in the church
in the
already.
House,
So it's like, even for the people in my neighborhood that went to church, their experience was still very different. They walk out of the church and they're back to
Y'all took church
what I mean?
everywhere with y'all.
You in it the Monday through Sunday. Like, I couldn't even, when people say like growing up in church you couldn't listen to R&B, like, I mean, like, I would get like whoopings for listening to R&B music. Like, if my mom found CDs that we got from anybody else, I remember she found like a tape from like when the box was cracking. Like, you had the box, and somebody made my sister a tape of a whole bunch of videos. My mom found that and like went crazy.
VHS.
Bro. Oh my God. Yeah. It's a VHS tape, man. And so they were tough, but I think, the underlying is always, when your parents see kind of the possibility of what can be created in those type of environments, they think that that's what offsets it. Let me be extremely tough on you to make sure that you stay away from this because I don't want you to be anything like it. But they don't know, like, a lot of times that creates more interest because you want to know, like, what am I missing? Because it looks more fun on the outside. Like, church doesn't look fun. You just in it. So
what's the first secular? I'm sorry, bro.
No, you good. What's
the first secular record you heard where you was like,
what's that?
I found it.
Man, it's like, there's like parts to it. So I remember listening to Anita Baker at a young age because I had an older sister who, by the time she got out of the house, she was already into, like, because Anita Baker is like, if you grew up in the church, you ease into it.
No, I was about to say, that's easy. I thought you was going to tell me you heard Pretty Ricky.
I'm not.
It's 5 in the morning. And was like, oh, I need it.
She like, hey, that's why I said it's parts to it.
Oh, I need it.
Hey, but she's like, that's like church adjacent because it's soul still in his love song.
Right
so
there.
like,
Luther's right there. Like all of those. Yeah.
So I had a sister who, that's what she was listening to. So when I would go and hang with my sister, I was able to hear like stuff like that. And then Tyrese is ironically, being from Watts, he came and did, it's like maybe like a giveaway at Will Rogers Park. And I had to, I was like probably like 12 or something, maybe even younger. And he gave away his CDs and like, he performed. It was right at the gym. And that was like Tyrese's music, ironically, was some of the first music that I remember listening to, which was also interesting to then find out my taste in R&B once I got into it, because it was the same people. It was y'all, it was the Underdogs. It was, you know what I mean? And I was listening to Dawkins and Dawkins as a kid.
Yeah,
so I didn't even realize that that's what formed my taste in R&B music.
Yeah.
To come to find out, it was the same people that was doing, you know, those records. So yeah, I remember a lot of his music, and I got a little, my mom gave me a little room for it because it was like, he was more visible. This somebody from the neighborhood. It seemed more inspirational than it did.
Yeah, it seemed possible.
You're listening to secular
Possible.
music. Yeah. So, yeah, man. I guess I still started off kind of on the safe side of R&B, but I was dancing too. That's a whole other side
That's
to
the
it.
thing, because we church. They think that because we're from church.
Yeah.
Guy in
we
this
can't
weed.
dance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They
This guy
hate-
in this weed.
They hate on the way we move groove out here. You know what I'm saying? We'll get a
So
video.
was you clown dancing? You was
I
crumping,
was.
you was crumping and
I
clown
was
dancing?
doing all of it, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's you know, that's LA culture. And I grew up. That was prime time, bro. I grew up like in the middle of like the battle zone.
What's the
Tommy
guy
Clown.
that travels?
Is it Tommy the Clown?
Tommy
Yeah.
the Clown.
That was like my middle school experience, bro. That's when everybody was into like clown dancing, and so that's when I got exposed to the music.
Yeah.
That was Yin Yang
Oh yeah,
Twins.
they
That was
twerk,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
They
You know what I
twerking and
mean?
everything.
So that was different. But my mom still like, I think she kind of started accepting my interest, but it was church parents are like, if that's what you're gonna do, find somebody that's basically gonna look after you, because I don't want no parts of it. And that's what happened. Like I had like basically a chaperone who was responsible for me in any space that wasn't church, and she would have to like.
And who was that?
It was my godmother, Jacqueline Sims, and she used to work at the gym in the projects in the Jordan Downs. She would see me dancing. She saw that I had like, you know, she felt like I had more potential than what could be cultivated in the environment. Basically, it's like, I want to take you over here. She took me to a real dance studio. I started learning, but my mom, because it wasn't church, it wasn't gospel. It was like she got to do it.
Yeah,
like my mom she didn't come to no shows. No, like it was very, very strict church Cogic. Like they're not having it. So
Yeah, she stomped down.
but
church.
she still allowed you to do it though.
she allowed me to do it.
Yeah.
I just basically had to make sure, I don't want to say it wasn't visible, but basically like non-existent to her. You know what I mean? So
Or that was probably framed a certain way,
yeah,
just so that, you know, even if she wasn't so much, you know, rooting for it,
Yeah.
she could at least respect it.
Right.
Yep.
She wasn't rooting against it.
Yeah.
and it's really it's all about like optics too and perspective, because you know, church people are like extremely judgmental. So
Speak on it, son.
I've never talked to my mom about this, but I would bet that a huge part of the reason was because of what she thought other people would think. Like, oh, you letting your kids be out here? You know what I mean? That's church culture.
You're supposed to be the pastor.
Exactly.
So to a certain degree, you were a heathen.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Just for
A
wanting to
rebel.
go dance and
Complete rebel, and I was cool with that. I was cool with it, man.
early though, you was cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew. Like once I got my like first real taste of R&B music, I'm like, oh nah, this me.
The screen
Like,
was
yeah.
different.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm not supposed to do gospel, and that's such a tricky thing, because you know, in the church they believe you're not even using your gifts unless you are contributing to gospel. So that was also like a weird space to have to work out of, because it's like, here's something that I feel I'm like super purposeful in, and there's a lot of connectivity here, and I'm battling with having to convince myself that I should be doing it, because based on what y'all are telling me, this is something that I shouldn't even have interest in. So it was crazy dynamic, man.
It has taken some time, and it's still taking, I think, time for church people to understand that God is not just in church.
Yeah.
And that the opportunities that that God awards you,
Yeah.
they're not just in church. You know what I mean? Like the idea that this song about my life is changing my life, my family's life, the life of people who are listening to it. I'm able to see the world as a result of this song that I've written and sang with the gifts that God has given me.
Yep.
Somehow, especially back then, with the days we're talking about, that's not of God.
Yeah.
And it's a total contradiction to everything that God represents in terms of how I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, the gift was given to me for a reason, right? And so for me, like, it's always, it was a battle at first, because it was just like, I was so, I won't say beat over the head, but I was just so, it was preached into me that unless you're doing it for God,
Yeah.
it means nothing.
Yep.
And that battle that I had to have within myself for the first few years of me singing R&B music was hell. Cause I was like, am I doing the right thing? Now the stuff I be doing with Genuine, I probably shouldn't be doing, but I'm a wingman. I must, I must do my job as a wingman.
Brother. You were anxious, brother. We all was so anxious.
We were so anxious.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But then it's like, no, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at what we've been able to do. Look at where we've been able to go, the things we've been able to see, the people we've been able to touch.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that's not God?
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that.
Yeah. Do you have those conversations now with your family? And because for me, it was, having, I mean, and still not having, but I still have like conversations with, my cousins that are completely away from the music business, or, different family members. And they ask me stuff as if they've seen it on TV, right? Like I become like, I'm being interviewed, And that's always tricky for me, and it's funny, but I also don't come from the place that has looked at, worldly things as the worst things,
like demonize it.
Yeah. It's just niggas asking me like, man, her booty that fat dog. You seen it in person? Like, yeah, she thick, bro.
Yeah, she got it on her.
They for sure always think you got an inside or something.
Right. But for where you guys come from, though, it has to be a whole nother conversation of, what
it is
like
out there.
Yeah,
what it's like out there.
Yeah, it's most of my family that I'm able to talk to about it are like my age.
Okay.
So we share similar experiences.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're not talking to the OGs about it though?
Nah, I have my moments where I do, because I do have I got an aunt right now who, anytime she sees something on Facebook, it's like, yeah, we can't wait for you to come back to the church. Like, I'm not coming. This ain't it ain't like I'm still, you know what I mean? I'm still rooted, but it ain't what you think it is.
Coming.
Like, yo, you gotta let that one go, man. It's always, when you gonna drop a gospel album? Like, you've never heard me put out gospel music. Like, why do you think this is the resolution? But I think for me, what's affirming, even like having those type of conversations, like coming from the church and them demonizing it, you look at fans and support, they are so appreciative when they identify that it's somebody who had the same experience that they had in these spaces. So when you talk about being a church kid in arenas outside of the church, that makes them feel more connected, because it's like, yes, there's representation, like, because they're not bad people, you know what I mean?
Right.
But that's what we're taught, like, by church standards. Like, you got to be a rebel, and you're a terrible person if you're making a conscious choice to not do this in the church. So like, I think with my family, I've gotten to the point to where the ones who get it and understand, they do, and they support it, and the ones who don't, they just don't. Like, but it won't make me pivot at all. Like, I'm confident in what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Yeah, because I feel like people I've worked in the gospel world, I've worked in R&B world. I've seen the same thing on both sides.
Talk about it.
So I just don't believe
With less pay.
Yeah. So
you're not gonna work me for the Jesus coins.
Yo, it's not happening.
That's Mr. 125 over there. This is the 125.
Come on, man.
Yo, man.
Jesus got more than $125 a Sunday.
For sure
I promise
he
he got it.
Man, I was young in church, starting on the drums.
Uh-huh.
I was making like $20 a Sunday. They put it in a little yellow envelope, give it to you at the end
like
of the
it's
service.
sweet.
Yeah,
Why
I'm
you
like,
put this shit in an envelope?
You could have
put this in my
threw
hand.
this at me. Like, you could have threw it at me. Just throw it at me while I'm playing. Like, yeah. Like man.
We're gonna throw the offering that young
Might as
Kenyon
well,
on the
man.
drums, whatever you can throw, amen.
And then they wouldn't just give you a $20 bill. They would give it to you in one, so it felt like it was more money. Like, you know what I mean?
They would squeeze that out of the
Yeah.
offering. We got that 24
For sure.
on the day.
Yeah, yeah.
We got
Yeah,
that
because
24?
now it's called
Okay.
a bankroll. You hear me?
You know what?
Oh man. Nah, that really like I don't know, man. That experience just kind of like changed a lot of my perspective. But I realized like again, I know what I'm doing and I'm confident in it. And those who get it, and those who don't, they don't. And it's just kind of what it is. The church, y'all are given the same resources I have. We all got the same Bible. So what am I gonna tell y'all? If what we're in here learning and believing is that God is much bigger than these four walls, somebody got to go out there. I can't just why am I preaching to y'all? Y'all know it already. So I think there's responsibility that comes with context in what you create.
There's a moral morality connected to it, but you have that based on foundation.
Yep.
You have that based on the person that you are. You are going to be different. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll say me. I mean, I've had my moments where, I've indulged and,
We all have.
And woke up and found myself like in a strange place. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's not my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
baby, like, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Where'd you come from?
I came from the strip club. I ain't bring no food.
The boy ain't mine.
How long I been here?
Oh my God.
You had your moments, right? But I think it's, it's the foundation of who you are that always brings it back in for you. It's like, no, I'm different. This is who I am, and I'm going to do out here. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do out here without being so caught up into all that is out here, because it's really the access that, how you use the access that makes the difference. Mm-hmm. People think, oh, Hollywood is this. Hollywood is nothing. Hollywood is what you make of it.
Yeah.
Hollywood is what you decide to indulge in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Your contribution.
Your contribution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't at no mansion party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Some of us drive past it.
Some of us drive past
I've definitely
it.
driven past
Yeah.
a few mansion parties. I'm like,
That don't too many.
I can't. Nope.
Too many strange
I already see who
people.
outside. Nah.
Yeah. I came, I
I'ma
saw,
keep
I left
driving.
early.
Yeah,
keep
no.
driving.
So it's the whole mansion. It's only 4 of y'all. I'm good. We're all the people.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah,
but
no,
so
it's what you make it.
it's what you make
what you
it.
make it.
Hollywood don't make you do nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
They may offer it.
Yeah.
It's the access.
It's the access. Yeah.
What are you willing to do?
You know they gonna do this to you. How? I would have to say yeah.
I get so tired of watching that.
I would have to accept the invitation.
Right. I get so tired of watching that. Like, no, you have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listen, some people can live with those kinds of decisions. But the access to everything isn't always based on having to objectify yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just say, I'm going to work a little harder and get it that way. Mm-hmm. And it happens.
Yeah.
Or some people take the shortcut.
Right.
And use the access to get to where they're trying to go, and they can live with that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the work.
Just talk.
Yeah, let's talk about
When
the work.
was the first? Yeah. I want to know your first real R&B upper level professional experience.
Man, let's see. I'll take you back to the beginning, man. My first professional gig ever, because I got into the game background singing first.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was singing background for DJ Quick, and it was like me, Terrace Martin. My sister was singing with me. D Calloway on drums. It's like a big like LA squad. And so that was my first,
one of the
like,
most talented people.
Oh man, he just named
incredible.
Ever. Yeah.
Literally, man. That was my first, like, first, and I was like right out of high school. So it was also crazy because I had just decided that, like, all right, I'm gonna do music for real. Like, I want to sing. So I started there, and I feel like my next gig that kind of then opened up the portal, I started singing with Tyrese. That was my first.
So you went from Quick to Tyrese.
Yeah. So like,
Oh yeah.
and I still, you know what I mean? I still,
He was in it.
in the interim, was still doing like Conga Room and like Cozies and like, you know what I mean? I still did all of our like spots and had the proper progression to prepare me for, you know, being in that space. But working with Tyrese, I feel like that's where that kind of started to form my real career for like, okay, cool, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing. And like so many experiences started there for sure.
He's definitely like your number one fan.
Oh, for sure.
Like all I used to hear is, man, this nigga Kenyon did it again. You know, he's just a
In that voice
prolific
too,
writer.
though.
No,
I just want to be clear.
He's a prolific writer. The nigga can sing his ass off. You know, everything that you hear me doing.
No, Tyrese has two
I'm
favorite
copying
people.
him.
You know his two favorite people are? One is here. The other one is Siege Monstrosity.
Siege
yeah.
Monstrosity.
That's my guy. Yo, Reese loves some Siege. That's my
Reese?
brother, man.
Against anybody.
Y'all two, like if this was a sport,
Yeah.
he's picking y'all
first.
as y'all are
Bro.
his is in the big three.
Yeah.
It's Tyrese and y'all two.
Tyrese has gotten me and Siege into arguments with people that we ain't even have
What?
nothing to do with.
What? No, he had Siege in a full beat war. I'm like,
with Swiss Beats
I'm
and
like,
Timberlake.
I'm like, Reese, he didn't even ask for that.
Oh my God, man. Yeah.
He's a killer.
He's the
I said-
GOAT.
I said, but I don't think he asked you to do that.
That's him, man. I for sure been thrown into some fire. Like, yo, Kenyon, he'll wipe anybody in here. I'm like, bro, relax. Let's just.
Here's what's crazy about you though. It's like you just be sitting there like, this nigga just to stop talking.
Bro,
Your face don't look like you don't want it, but because you just always cool. You're not reactive. You're just like this. I'm nice, but I just don't wanna.
it's
I don't have
it's
a sing off everywhere I
To know
go.
him is to love him, man.
Yeah.
But I say that because
Y'all his favorite though. for
that's
sure.
when I first heard about you.
Yeah.
Is when he was throwing you out there like this nigga's cold.
Yes.
I was like, okay, he nice. And then was TGT right after that?
TGT was right after.
Right after.
Because I worked
Right after.
on Open Invitation. And then,
It was when you worked on TGT
yep.
that I was like, you wrote a few things on
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But
FYH and co-wrote Hurry and Sex Never Felt Better, the single. Yeah.
we when I FYH,
Yeah.
that's when I was like, okay, this nigga's cold. This
Appreciate
nigga's
you,
cold.
man.
No, because he pushed heavy for you to be a part of that project.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I remember the battles because it was a battle of where we were going to create the music. And you know Tyrese has his ideas of everything should be done here and
his camps.
Yeah. So it was just a battle of how it was going to work. Which was even the story of like touring. I mean, I'll go back to the songwriting, but to that point of being thrown into the fire. I don't know if you remember, we did a show in Detroit, and I think it was the last show of the tour, and we all got solos. And everybody did their solo. And after my solo, Tyrese says, we won, and starts crib walking. And I'm like, bro.
Oh, because it was
then,
you,
yes,
Lonnie,
me, Lonnie, and Rick.
and Rick. I'm sorry, Rick.
So then we get backstage, and now Lonnie and Reese are in a full-blown argument, bro, because Reese was like, yo, Kenyon smoked y'all. And I'm like, bro, like, these my homies, bro. You can't just say stuff like that. And like, they were lit. Lonnie was backstage, like, I'll smoke you, though. He was ready.
That's Lonnie.
Yo, Lonnie ready, bro. Lonnie is ready at all
Shout
times.
out to Lonnie
all
Morrell.
over a solo.
I'll
That's
smoke
great.
you, nigga.
Yeah,
That is
He
great.
like, you don't want to see me though. Like Lonnie was ready for the singing battle, bro.
Ready to battle Tyrese till the sun came up. But in all fairness, you did cook. You did.
I appreciate you, man. Shout out to my brothers.
Hey, I was like this.
It's just, he just got to be extra. Like, why would you start crip walking, bro?
Hey, man.
He started crip walking. It was like, we won, real loud on the mic.
I didn't think it was we because he was claiming you.
Yeah,
as his.
yeah.
When I was like, first of all, he's singing with all of us. We're all together.
Right.
Okay. All right. Yes, Kenyon won, but it's a win
Man.
for all of us.
That's how I felt, man. But those sessions, yeah, we were figuring out because we started prematurely. Again, true to Tyrese. We basically had an album done before y'all even decided that y'all were working on the album as a group.
I know.
So we had
Tank had a whole nother song out.
He did.
Tank had shots fired out.
Shots fired out. We was in the streets, heavy.
He had other plans, man. So we were in there working, bro. And with the FYH record, it was crazy because I think he had just played it for you. Y'all may have been at the Underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
We were at his house working on something completely different. I was working on another song for something else, and he called because when I wrote the song, first did it at the crib, just first verse hook, because everybody writes. So It's like, you don't need to write a whole song. First verse hook, he called me like, we need the second verse now. I was like, okay. So we stopped. We were doing it in the session. My homie Javante was with me in that session. So he helped me with that second verse, and we just knocked it all out and sent it back. So I think that was probably that first time that you heard the record. It only takes a little bit of something for him to go all the way. So even if everybody was like, this is a nice record, that's probably what that call was. Like, yo, we need this right now. Everybody's ready to record it. Nobody probably said that they were ready to record, but man.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
He's
proactive. He looked out for me, though,
He's
man.
proactive,
yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
You gotta be. He's not waiting on things.
He's proactive. We got to think of a more powerful word.
He's nuclear.
He's leading. Your Honor, leading.
Oh, man.
Leading the witness. Bro, when I heard that B section, I was like,
Yeah, that's one of my favorites on the project.
Appreciate you, man.
I was like,
You smashed that joint, man.
I said, this niggas. I'll take the B sections.
I'll take the B section.
We wanted you to, when we did Hurry, you were supposed to take the verse that Reese was singing, but he snatched it and was like, because that's why I had the falsetto in there.
Okay. I didn't want to do Hurry. I didn't like Hurry at first. And I think that wasn't me. I don't think it was so much so of me not liking the record.
Yeah.
It was just at that time, Reese was just pushing every record he had. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck Hurry.
Yeah.
And fuck the other songs you brought and fuck you. Like, it was
Like, these are the songs we gonna do.
Yeah, I think I was just in that space.
Yeah.
And then as the project started progressing, I went back and listened to it and I was like, this shit is cold. All right, I'm gonna record it. And
Yeah. Isa, man. That was Isa is like the genius behind that record, man.
Who sang who sang the demo?
So there's Isa. She has a demo version where it's just her. Then there's a version is me, C. Lacey, and Aaron Sledge.
Who sang the first verse?
First verse is Aaron Sledge.
I feel like Aaron. Yeah.
Yep.
That feels like Aaron.
Yep. First verse, Aaron Sledge. C. Lacey is the second verse. I was the third verse, which we were trying to have you do. And Reese was like, nah. Because he's used to me tailoring everything to,
Right. Yeah. You had his formula.
I remember we were mad, though. So I was like, man, I really wanted him to have that verse, man. Reese don't sing falsetto.
At all.
So we lost all the falsetto. He killed it still.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, man.
Your writing credits is, if we could ever get that album licensed, some money waiting on both of us.
Yeah. Hey, man.
And then, so it's soon after that you start going into like solo mode and kind of creating your own thing?
Or were you already doing that?
I was already a solo artist, man.
Like putting out music or just?
Yeah,
okay.
I started on MySpace, bro, and then went into like SoundCloud. A lot of my following came from SoundCloud. Like I used to do a bunch of covers and release like originals, but my first So starting off like doing live shows outside of like the open mic stuff, me and YG, bro, we used to do shows together at the Knitting Factory all the time.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
Knitting Factory ain't even there no more.
Yeah.
And so at the time, you didn't know the power in that, like those hard tickets. We were like seniors in high school and like fresh out of high school as well. We were doing them Sean Healy shows where you got to sell 100 tickets and then you make like 10 cents per ticket after that. Like it was something crazy. But we didn't know. And we were like selling these shows out because it was our homies. We just had a big following. That's just LA. You know what I mean? And I had been doing my own music since then. And so when I got into background singing, you know, at first you're excited because it's like, dang, I'm working with all these cool people, you know what I mean? On the road with this person and this person doing all these shows, but I was still doing my own music. So it got to a point to where like I had to learn how to like position it when I started to realize like, nah, I really am an artist. Like this is what I want to do. And at one point when I toured, I mean, fast forward, but I was touring with Justin Timberlake in like 2018 maybe.
Can we say how you got there though?
Yeah.
Because that's not a.
I got you.
How do you go from
I know
Jordan Downs to Justin Timberlake?
Let's
There's
see,
a
man.
process in there.
Yeah.
And people should understand that other than just thinking, oh, well, I'm going to do what Kenyon Dixon did. Well, what did Kenyon Dixon do? You know what I mean? To get to those points. Like this is, and how many years?
Put in.
Let's see, man. So again, starting with Quick, went to Tyrese, started working with TGT.
So you was singing Pitch In on the Party?
I was.
That's my shit.
We went through, we went through everything, man.
Shit. You gonna be singing Pitch In on the Party, then Sweet Lady,
man,
in a matter of months.
You know what I mean? So Tyrese was Scooter Sledge, BJ's brother. Scooter was the MD. I got a call about like, I mean, you know, like when you sing around the city, everybody knows. That's kind of how it worked out here, like being at Cozy's and like our different spots, Foxhole. It was like all the MDs and the musicians that MD the artists, they're always there. So when it's time for singers, it's like, well, we know who to who to call. So I got a call from Scooter, like it was an audition for a Tyrese show, but like also not really an audition. It was like we're rehearsing. It was for like it's called like the NARM convention or something. We're rehearsing for this convention. Tyrese needs some singers. Like they were at SIR. He's like, if you can get down here, like it's yours. I'm like, all right. So I called some singers too. Like, yo, y'all, you know, pull up. Cause we know the unit. We've worked together. So I go in there. After like my first show with Tyrese, most of us that were singing with him like didn't stay on the gig. But they were like, kept me there. Like, yo, I want you to be the one like in charge of the vocal. So I became like Tyrese's like vocal director. Like at one point I was the only singer on the road traveling with him. You know what I mean? And like sometimes they had me working overtime, but sometimes I would like be sending out charts and breakdowns of song parts to like other singers that we're about to meet in the city at a show. Like we got a show in Atlanta. I need two singers, but I'm the constant. So I'm going to see y'all at sound check. Here go the notes and what y'all need to know. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was doing that. After Tyrese, I got a call randomly from Onitsha to sing background with Mike Posner. Adam Blackstone was the MD at the time. And so we did Ellen first with Mike Posner. Then started singing with Kelly Rowland. Like everything just kind of started.
You remember Mike Posner played in the league with us?
Of course.
Mike Posner, wait, listen.
It's hysterical.
We have to touch.
Oh, he ball?
No.
Mike Posner was one of the funniest teammates I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Because he did not give a fuck. Right? Because you got to think it was the NBA Entertainment League. So you got the biggest egos possible playing basketball. But guys that can't play basketball with that same ego, right? So you're just used to that. You're like, the little nigga from Malcolm in the Middle think he gonna score. This nigga's terrible. Whatever, whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
And I remember meeting Mike, and I hadn't put two and two together that he was the guy with the song that I liked, right? But I'm like, he's actually really a cool ass little white nigga on it that just ain't tripping off shit.
Yeah.
Like, Mike, you want to go? He's like, no, it's all right. It's all right. I'm like, bro, just going for a minute. Mike was cool as hell. He was just like the nicest dude who had no complaints about nothing. Nobody really paid him no attention, and then he went
just
to go
vibing.
do arenas. And it was like,
Just like that.
wait, what? Wait, that, you know,
Is that the same
you
guy?
know that's the same guy who now I guess you see the shit he be doing now. He's like walking the country.
Yes, absolutely,
I
bro.
haven't seen that.
The niggas walking the country.
Yeah, it's
bro.
polar opposite from like
He's walking the country.
He's walking
he's
the
just
country.
he's just living life, bro.
Like he's walked pretty much from New York to LA.
Already?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Why?
Why not?
He wants to experience the country.
There's kind of that. But it's more why than why not.
wouldn't do
It's more why than why not.
Yeah.
It's
How
more-
far is too far?
It's like, so what are you gonna walk the whole country, man?
It's just one of those. If you've accomplished all your goals, and now you're like, what else can I do? That's what it feels like.
No.
It's got some cocaine on it.
Hey, man.
I hope not.
It's gonna,
I hope not.
It's gonna
But
test the
that's
lines in
Mike
every
Posner.
city.
That's
got you.
what-
But no, man. I started
So then Mike Posner.
Mike Posner. Then I started working with Kelly Rowland. I toured with Kelly, and then there's like a bunch of like random one-offs. Like
You became the go-to. You became the go-to guy.
Sang with Carl Thomas and like just a bunch of bunch of people. So in like 2016, I get a call from Kirk Franklin. Funniest call, by the way. I get a call from Kirk Franklin. He's doing his 20 years. Actually, before that, I was with Nick Jonas.
Got you.
Right before Kelly.
Okay.
I got a call from
Hey, bro,
from
you're
Nick.
going.
Man.
This is the range in this.
The range is crazy.
It prepared me though.
You singing, I think you're cooler than me.
Yeah.
I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jealous.
You sing, what?
Motivation.
What?
Yeah, but it was great, bro. And it was me putting growing up, having all these talents didn't make sense. I was starting to see why that helped, because you sing with somebody like Kelly, they decided it would look a lot better if we could minimize the singers and instead get singers who can dance. Well, guess who's the singer that can dance?
Shit.
I go with Nick Jonas. And it's like, man, we
Don't
need
shake his hand. Don't. They be validating his bullshit, man.
He hate.
You brought me into
I can
it.
dance.
There's no videos
Oh my
of
God.
him with Genuine dancing.
I'll show you later.
He's singing.
We need the videos.
I'll show you.
All right.
Because that would have been your time.
That would've-
That would have been your time. Keep it a buck.
He didn't want me to do all that.
Keep it a buck. Did you have one of them
I'm
ambulance
asking
suits?
you about the videos.
when they was bringing that nigga
106
to life.
apart.
They
Did
made
you
up
have-
the ambulance after I
Did
left.
you have an ambulance suit?
They made the ambulance up after I left.
Said Genuine was supposed to be coming up
Yeah,
next. but
something happened. Something happened. I think they said
Yo.
something happened to him.
That is
said something
that's
happened
one of
to
the
him.
most R&B
Red got
things
the
I've ever
worst.
seen, man.
He got the worst script. They said that think something had happened to him.
Oh my God, bro. I'll never forget that, man. Watching that in real
That is
time
such a
after
legendary
school was
video.
crazy. Yes.
That's
Shout
a
out to my
legendary
guys.
video, bro.
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy, man.
All right, so you're doing this and now you're dancing and
Dancing,
singing.
yeah, literally getting on all these gigs that require both. And I'm like, okay, this makes sense now, because I had transitioned out of the dance world. Like I was dancing for real. And it got to the point, this is like when dance like took a turn and you go to auditions and stuff like that. And it was now about like the who you know in the room. So you'd be wasting your time if you walk in there and you don't know nobody. Like just being good ain't.
Yeah.
It didn't do anything. So
Right, that's why he stopped. You know what I mean?
Just being good wasn't enough, baby.
You know what I mean?
oh man. So I
Put
I
that
get
on
a call.
T-shirt. Put that on a T-shirt. 100%
being good, not
cotton. Make sure.
I need the video personally, bro.
It's a song called
But I got
Freaky. You know what I'm saying? We're at full choreography, baby.
I got you.
My choreographer, Roro. Shout out to Roro.
Hey,
You know, I was
say less.
I was
He
doing
always
real-
shouts Roro because he know everybody know Roro. They don't
Shout-
know about his dancing, but they know everybody know
They
Roro.
know
So it's
Listen,
like,
shout out
it
to
validates.
Akaman, who does Usher.
Come on, come on.
Who coached me for the Dreamgirls audition, the dance
Hey.
part of it, which I killed.
Yeah,
If that's on tape.
Okay.
Now the Stump the Yard audition,
Dreamgirls.
lose that tape.
Oh God.
Burn that file.
So hey people, we need to find Tank Stumpy the Yard
Please,
audition.
for the love of God.
It's out there somewhere.
If that is a career killer.
It's a career killer.
It's a career killer. Okay, so you dancing and singing.
I was dancing and singing. I auditioned for Dreamgirls, by the way, for like a part. It was like a random. This is when I was still dancing. It was like a random group that's shown when they do this like commercial in there.
Okay,
and they're singing this like Jackson 5 type song. That was also like one of my like last dance auditions. I knew like, cool, I just want to sing. But I get a call, you know, so after working on all these people, I get a call like, I want you to come and it was Kirk Franklin. Like he calls me, literally calls me like, I know who you are. It was so like anonymous. It felt like, it's like this Kirk Franklin, like, you know, I know who you are.
Kirk calls you like Prince?
Basically,
I know
man.
who you are.
Yeah, he's like, I got a tour coming up in February, and I want you to come and work with me. And at the time, it was tricky because I had got a call that I would have possibly been going on this Rihanna tour. Of course, I would have loved to do that. So I'm like, but Kirk needed an answer like right away, and I'm like, oh my God, because if I tell you no and then this don't come through, now I don't got nothing.
Right,
you know what I mean? So he was like, I just need to know, and like he ended up being like, can you let me know by this date? I was like, all right, cool. But the funny thing about Kirk is Kirk. You know what I mean? I grew up in church. Like Kirk is Michael Jackson to me. You know what I mean? Kirk is like, yeah, man. So like, I promise you, I'm a good person. Like I know you know. Like he mentioned some people that he knew I knew, and was like, yeah, you can ask them about me. And I'm like on the phone cracking up because I'm like, nigga, you Kirk Franklin. Like I know you don't gotta pitch. You don't gotta pitch yourself. Yeah. Like I'm going regardless, man. So I go with Kirk. I do the 20 years in one night tour. First we do some one-offs. Gospel, different. First of all, and let me also put it out there, touring with Kirk, that's probably some of the best money I ever made in my life. Yeah. Kirk is a person, he makes, like, he's competitive when it comes to being in that space. Absolutely. And I really appreciated that because the thought is, if I go to gospel, I'm about to take some L's because y'all ain't gonna pay. Like, no, Kirk was like, what you need, we good. So the other thing though, because it's gospel, everybody's just good already. So I'm used to like preparation, like send me a set list, and we had a show coming up before we even started rehearsing for tour. And I was booked for that show. And I felt like that show was like the audition. Like, let's see. Nobody had a set list. No, and I kept being like, like what songs do I need to know? And I got in the car and asked about like sound check. Everybody was like laughing. It was kind of like, oh, we don't do that. Like we just get on stage and kill.
So gospel is equivalent to the All-Star game.
Depending on who you're working with.
Right. No, I mean, like I'm talking about at the highest levels. Like so, because like you said, everybody's
standing next to
everybody's they're already good. These people are already been so they've been going to church from Monday through Sunday. Mm-hmm. So it's perfecting their craft.
Yep. And like for me on the inside, I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm in the van, like I'm just about to walk on stage. Right. I don't know I know how to find a part. I'm from church. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But everybody's chopping.
Yeah. So I'm like, cool, I can sing. I know how to not go down in flames, most importantly. So like we did that show. It was like no pressure like either. Kirk really knew because he told me when Kirk called me, I was honest with him. I said, look, man, I'm an R&B singer. Like at that point I was already, you know what I mean? Like putting out my own music. I was like, I'm not gospel. So like if that's you're looking for, I don't think I'm gonna be a good fit. And Kirk was like, I'm not looking for a gospel singer, bro. He's like, I'm like, if your heart, I can tell if your heart is in the right place. Like, he's like, I want a show. Wow. I want a show and a good person. Like, I don't need you to, be this like church figure or whatever. And that to me was like crazy because that was such a different dynamic than everything I've experienced as it related to the church. I didn't even know that could exist. Like, wait, you want to bring me into your world and you're okay with me, you know what I mean? And still ended up being like an amazing experience. So I'm on tour with Kirk. I get an email from Adam Blackstone. And I hadn't worked with Adam really since the Mike Posner gig, which was like almost like 10 years before that. Oh shit. You know what I mean? I started like working young, like right out of school, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I get an email from Adam Blackstone, and it's like, I need you to come in and learn this Justin Timberlake show. Just like, we just need some wings in case anybody's missing.
Yeah.
Now you're thinking, first of all, who's gonna miss a Justin Timberlake show?
Right.
Like, nobody's ever gonna miss it. And so the window that the rehearsals were in, I was fine. It didn't conflict with anything. I came, learned the show. Again, this was another one where the singing and dancing came in handy. And I'll never forget, because I sat down, I had to watch them do the show. And like, it was me and like two other singers who had to learn the show, but these were female singers. Mm-hmm. There were two females. I was the only guy, but there were two guy singers. So already I'm like, all right, what's going on? Because they sing two different parts. So you mean to tell me if anybody is missing, then I just gotta hop
cover.
in there? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I'm sitting down watching it. Adam kept saying, he's like, all right, Thursday. I think it was like a Thursday. We're at Center Staging. He's like, Aaron Camper was there at the time. He's like, Aaron's not gonna be at rehearsal. He has something to do that day. So he's like, so you gotta just hop in there. And this is only like day 2 of rehearsal. So he kept reminding me, like, all right, this is the day. Cause I guess he was trying to prepare me. Like, if you get up there and you go down and play, like,
or not kill.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's on
save
you.
That's it.
But the whole time, cause I'm just sitting there watching, they don't know. I'm like, this is about to be a breeze. Like, I'm a dancer. They don't know that. That's what he's most worried about. Adam's not worried about the singing.
Right.
It's like, you got to get up here and do these moves. They don't know that that's where I come from.
Yeah.
So I'm like, every time they're doing it, I'm like, I know this. I can get up there right now. You know what I mean? If I want to. So I got up there, literally did everything like flawlessly. And it was like, okay, so you really did do your homework. So fast forward, I'm on tour with Kirk. And I get a call, an email actually about a date. It was the first JT show, but that show started, it was on the same day as like the third to last tour date for Kirk's tour. So I'm already thinking like, how am I about to tell him that I got to go do this Justin Timberlake show? And for me, the excitement, like I'm about to go sing with Justin Timberlake, but also I'm like, it would be much easier for me to prepare somebody and bring in a sub for Kirk because his JT show is a production. So if I can just get you the songs and teach you staging, like you come here at this point, that's much easier than trying to get somebody to learn a hour and a half, 2 hour show of, you know what I mean? Like real choreography and everything. And so I remember I was like hesitant, but I already had my man together. And I was like, I told him like, yo, I'm gonna need you to do, but I hadn't talked to Kirk yet. But I had already prepared him. I knew he was gonna, be good. So I told Kirk, I was like, Kirk, man, they hit me about, coming out with JT. I'm like, but it was like a Brooklyn show I was missing. I was like, but I would miss this show. I'm like, but I promise, like, I'll make sure you good. Kirk is like, what I gotta do to make sure you here? Like, and I'm like, it's not even that. I'm like, it's just gonna be easier than me trying to get them somebody. I'm like, because they've already, the other thing, they had already paid me for the rehearsals. So you had paid me so that when this time came up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would be ready. So Kirk, man, of course he didn't want me to have to go, and that's messing up the flow of the show. You're used to your people when you get on stage. But I was like, Kirk, I promise, like I got you. I called my boy Mark Hood, and I think me and Mark was like, we would rehearse on like FaceTime. I'm like drilling it, like, all right, let me see this part, let me hear this part. Mark showed up, and that was 2018. He's still singing with him right now. Like, so made me happy because I'm like, I did my job. I know, like deep down, Kirk probably still like, yeah, nigga, you can't sing with me no more. Right. Walk away, but. It's like, all right.
You didn't leave him hanging.
Yeah, man. I pride myself in like being integral when it comes to the business and making sure that I cover myself, like, because I do understand when I'm on these gigs, it's very specific, especially like it's the energy, it's the look, it's being able to dance, it's like, it's not as simple as just calling a singer, you know what I mean? So I have to take like personality and everything into consideration. So I'm very specific if I have to send somebody, when I was, in that arena, if I had to send somebody to be there in place of me. So I'm like, I knew he would like them, but
Yeah.
I think naturally you're not gonna want to like them because you want the person
You
that
want
you
the person
hired
that you have, yeah.
to do the gig.
I think
But
people get confused too with from the outside looking in of what these jobs are.
yeah,
Because they're jobs.
yeah,
And everything that you just explained was a job.
yeah.
This wasn't a vibe. This wasn't a.
Nah, ain't
I
no
just,
vibing.
I pulled up because I could sing.
Yeah.
It's like no. These are people's jobs. These are people's livelihoods, and these things should be taken very seriously.
Yep.
Yes.
Like you said, I'm training someone and preparing them because I got to go do another situation, which I need to, because some people also will leave these jobs
High and
and
dry.
leave people high and dry.
Yeah.
100%.
Man, I don't know, bro. I just got this opportunity, so.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I love the way that you broke that down, man, and you explained to these, to the people that are watching that this is the process. Mm-hmm. It takes work. It takes, like you said, he brought me in. I had to sit and watch the rehearsal.
Yeah.
I had to, you know what I mean? I had to actually give them something more than they thought I initially had. Preparing yourself for your opportunities.
Yeah.
And I don't think everybody does that. Yeah, I think the ones that succeed do.
Yeah.
But
That's
I
the
don't,
difference for
and
sure.
I'll say this. I don't know if y'all feel like this, but I'm not a person that feels like my talent is greater than anyone else's. Mm-hmm. I do feel like my work ethic is though.
Yeah.
Got you.
I feel like at a certain level in business, or especially in this business, talent is what it is.
Yeah.
Like you said, I knew everybody there was going to be good. These people are good already. Most of them are great. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do to stand out in these spaces or to stick?
Yep.
And that is very important. I think that it gets overlooked, especially in our business.
Yeah.
Because a lot of this is, for some people, is luck. Oh, y'all got lucky, bro. Ooh, that was lucky that you,
It's viral.
you got that phone call.
It's a lot of unprepared people
Yeah.
being successful.
Yeah, but they're not staying successful.
That's thing.
No sustainability. Yeah. That's a testament
right?
to
Like,
that for sure.
You just gave us a timeline of a good probably 15 years
Sheesh.
of
Literally,
you
man.
actively in this business doing your thing. And we still haven't even truly got to your opportunity
yeah.
as a solo artist. We're just talking about you being a working entertainer
Yeah.
consistently. You just named 10, 15 legends.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That you've had the opportunity to work with and help in their journey. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I applaud you for that, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Because
you,
everybody
man.
don't take this shit as serious as they should. This is a business. This is a job. We are here ultimately to entertain the world.
Yeah. 100%, man. I think it is, talent alone doesn't sustain you. You really do gotta know how to maneuver and how to be who you need to be in these spaces. Like being adaptable, I think, is a huge part because you got to know how to work with people as well. Just a lot of different personalities in these rooms, and this artist might not be anything like this artist, but you got to be smart enough to pick that up and know what to offer. You know what I mean? And when. Like, so working on, I've done pop gigs, I've done R&B gigs, I've done country stuff,
done
I've done gospel.
yeah.
All different people. Like, you know what I mean? And so you got to know, just when to pull what out. Like with Crazy, my first gig with Kelly Rowland, I was on tour with TGT. It was a show together.
Oh, really?
TGT and Kelly had a show together. It was in New York. It was somewhere in New York. I learned Kelly's show with a cold on the tour bus, watching like on Skype. My boy Jason Woods literally taught me Kelly's whole show, dances and all, on the tour bus. My first time ever singing with Kelly was at Soundcheck at that show that we had. That was my first time ever meeting her, meeting the MD. Like, literally, I got off the bus, had a show with y'all, and Soundcheck with Kelly, and did 2 gigs that same night. But it does all come down to like just preparation. Like, I have like countless stories of being prepared, singing. I toured with Faith Evans for a minute. Touring with Faith Evans, there was one point where I stopped singing with Faith because I went on like another gig, came back to sing with Faith, and we were in like Japan doing like Billboard Live. I'm used to what I knew from the last time I sang with Faith. They had hit me like, yo, one of the singers can't make it. Can you come and do it? You know, because I know the stuff.
Yeah.
I get there. What they didn't tell me is the singer that was missing was a soprano.
Nice.
So now,
Got to eat your false.
bro, whole show.
Whole
And I
new
was
parts.
like, but that's just preparation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and that's scared. Sometimes you gotta do it scared. Like, it's like you gotta trust your level of skill. So that's what it was for me. Like, cool, I know that I'm capable of doing this, so I gotta push the reservation part of it aside for what, as far as like my level of comfortability. But this is still a job. And so how I look at it is like, if I don't execute this, then that looks like I can't do my job.
can't do it.
It didn't matter, like, because there was one of the singers who was like, oh, I mean, you know, boastfully, like, I mean, I can sing whatever part. Like, if you just want to take, alto or tenor, like,
always
I
that
sing the
guy.
soprano. I say, okay, cool, let's switch. You like, well, I mean, I am just used to singing this part. So, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, so now I'm stuck singing soprano, but you know what I mean? That's that preparation and that, like,
Singing in your false was probably the easiest gig
bro,
ever.
It did turn out to be
Hey, man, you
easier
was
than
just
I expected.
coasting.
But that initial shock, that's Faith Evans, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Faith is a soprano.
For
So,
sure.
and-
a power
and-
soprano.
And this was a gig of
And the
all
highest
guys.
level.
Yeah,
You know what I
man,
mean?
what?
Yeah.
So me
yeah.
singing soprano for a soprano was like, huh?
Yeah.
But Faith is also one of the coolest, like,
Yeah.
she's like, look, we gonna sing, and I know everybody know how to sing. I know how to sing too, and we just gonna have a good time. But like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It was, again, it still came down to preparation. I wasn't necessarily comfortable, but I think that's what pushes you into those spaces, that next level of what you're looking for, like being prepared and then just having to jump in there. So I've had a bunch of moments like that, man. It just kind of set me up for what I'm doing now.
The pro.
For sure.
Nigga's a pro. Let's get to your shit, man.
Yeah,
let's
man.
Get to it,
You know,
man.
let's get to your Grammy nominated self. You know what I'm
Man.
saying? More than once. How many times have you been nominated?
Technically 4.
Oh shit.
But
Oh shit.
Nah.
Oh shit.
Oh, listen, we gonna have that talk. Yeah.
I'm like technically 4 because the first was Open Invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Second was TGT's album. First artist nomination was me, PJ, BJ, Charlie for Bring It On Home to Me
Bring It
2 years
On,
ago.
yeah.
And then my latest nomination was my first solo nomination with nobody else. I'm nominated right now for Best Traditional R&B Performance for my song Lucky.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, that's that R&B you love.
Thank y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not technically 4. That's 4.
Yeah. You know, the rules have changed since those first 2, so I need to go back and get my.
This is a sore spot for this man.
Oh, you got okay. I got
Listen,
you.
you were on an album
Yeah.
that was nominated for a Grammy. That's part yours.
Yeah.
He won his $14 Grammy.
No, man, you were 2 albums that were nominated
yeah.
for Grammys. That's part yours. That's your nomination.
Yeah.
Okay? Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm with you.
That's real shit,
The
though.
PJ and you doing
Yeah.
your thing on there. Yours, look, you doing your thing on there.
Yeah.
Those are 2 nominations as well. All these shits count.
Yeah, they do.
One
He ain't
second.
lying.
Time out.
Yeah,
You do know that you're not the chairman of the Grammys, right? I mean, he's your friend. He is your friend. He's my friend too.
I know
It's like our brother.
that if you contribute, to a body of work, and that body of work
That's what you know.
is then nominated
you should be
for
acknowledged.
an award, you should be acknowledged.
I'm with
And
you.
here at R&B Money, you are acknowledged.
Hey man,
At the Yammies.
I appreciate
At the
y'all. Yeah, the Yammies.
Shout out to Maseko.
Yeah,
The Yammies, baby.
we gotta get like a gold yam.
Yeah.
You need something.
And
Yeah,
put it
Yeah. Gotta look
I'm
like
with it.
yam.
We acknowledge our people.
I'm a Yammy recipient.
I'm gonna get you a
Yes,
yammy.
sir.
Talk about now. I mean, you've done so much dope work, with all of these dope singers and songwriters and performers. You've seen the world. I already know what that Justin Timberlake tour looked like.
Yeah.
Crazy.
out of
115
control.
shows.
115
For
shows?
one tour, yeah.
And how long?
It may be 117.
How long were you out on the road?
Probably like a year.
You were gone for a year.
Yeah. 2-hour shows every night.
Every night.
Every single night.
That's the
Sheesh. And it's funny because, 2 hours don't seem like a lot to someone who works 8 hours,
Yeah.
which is rightfully so. But 2 hours straight. It's
Singing and
not
dancing
easy.
is crazy.
Singing
Yeah.
and dancing every night.
a year. I remember one tour he just said, I'm going home. I said, how many shows have you done? He said, like 110. I said, what are you talking about? Who does 110 shows?
Crazy.
Who does 100 and something shows? Booked, sold out arenas.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's sick. Okay, you got all of that. And then
Yeah.
you start really growing in your solo space.
Yeah.
Do you feel like those moments and being, having those connective tissues with those artists and the support, I would imagine,
Yeah.
from those artists really helped you start to really grow in the space of your solo space where it really started pushing the traction for you?
I think it gave me a different level of confidence and enhanced my vision because much like anybody else who's like interning or, in that space, I'm literally seeing what it is I desire. So like talking about manifestation, it couldn't be more real. I'm literally standing feet from where I would like to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and then, there are like certain things I learned from every artist that I work with. With JT, it was the show business aspect of it, how to get out there and really, working with y'all, with the fellas. It's like Tyrese is the persona. With you, it's like sing, like go for it. You know what I mean? Like G is that performance aspect, how to be the ladies' man. Y'all all are though. That's literally R&B. You know what I mean? So I've learned like something from every single person I've been on stage with, and I think that even indirectly, like being around everybody everybody's played a part in who I've become
Right,
as
you
an
taking
artist
pieces.
for sure. Yeah, 100%.
As you should. It's preparing you for your moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got how many projects out? Because, we talked about this earlier. You got, what you got? 9 projects?
Yeah, I'm like, it might be like 9. I only consider 3 of them albums, but the other ones were like,
I had to buy.
yeah.
Thank
you for buying it.
There's a purchase.
Yeah.
They're not just
Yeah,
just
they wasn't
sitting on-
giveaways.
They wasn't giveaways. motherfucker. So I only consider
Yeah.
3. Well, now I bought 9, so it was
Right.
all of them
Yeah.
$9.99 at least.
Yep. Nah, that's,
What's the name of your label?
say that again.
What's the name of your label?
The R&B You Love.
R&B
That's
Love.
the name of your
Love,
label,
man. Yeah.
R&B Love.
Yeah, the R&B You Love.
The R&B You Love.
That's the name of the label too.
I've officially locked it in.
The R&B You Love.
Because I knew that was the name of
Thank
the
you.
album.
Yeah.
The R&B
Yeah.
You Love.
That's
I
kind-
like
that's kind of
this
my
shit.
that's my it kind of embodies everything that I do, man, because I think I'm like a walking poster of modern R&B influenced by the R&B we love. When we talk
Yeah.
about the R&B we love, it's
Yes.
really the feeling and how to experience those feelings that we got when we listen to certain stuff, when we watch certain stuff. Like, so I'm really like a student of the game at all times. And when I make my music, like my last album, and I did it with the album before that, I would put on like even videos of Anita, of Luther, of like Joe, and like, I mean, you name it, mute it and try and recreate that feeling in the music of what I'm looking at. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And that's how I know when my albums are done. And when I can listen to a song and it feels like what I felt, that's why I call it the R&B You Love, because it's literally, I think there's a formula there. And if you could tap into the formula and not be scared, it takes a little more time because everybody's exposed. There's massive exposure to something that's the opposite of what it is you're trying to create. But if you're down for the long game, that's really what R&B is, then you know what I mean, you're cool with making it. So
R&B You Love.
Nah, I rock
R&B You
with
Love,
that.
man.
I rock
love
with that.
Thank
Do
you.
you know all of your albums offhand?
I should.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is what we're gonna do, Jacob. Jacob, this is what we're gonna do.
I should.
I want you to name the albums, and as you name the albums, he's gonna flash the album.
Okay.
Because what we got to get into is we got to get into selling this product.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's go.
So are we naming just the ones on streaming platforms?
All of them.
All of them. Okay. So I started with an EP called "It Ain't Easy."
Okay. It ain't easy. This shit ain't
Flash.
easy.
It ain't easy.
Uh-huh.
Then I put out a project called Hollywood and Highland. That was like my first like LP,
I like
technically.
that street too. I used to love Hollywood.
Yeah. That was my first LP. From there, I went to Higher Ground.
High ground. Okay.
Higher Ground. From there, from Higher Ground, I think I went to a project called 24. From 24, I went to We Should Talk, I think. From We Should Talk, a few of these might be out of order, but these should be all albums.
Okay.
From We Should Talk, I did a project called R&B Kenny, which is where the moniker came from,
Yeah.
which is, after We Should Talk, after R&B Kenny, I put out a project called Niggas Get Emotional Too.
I felt that title.
Yeah.
I felt that title.
That was one of the ones, man. It was a very honest
Tank
project.
be in his feeling.
in my feelings. You know.
So after that, I put out Expectations. And that was during the pandemic. That's when that's the project that kind of started my ascension as an artist. After that project, actually before Expectations, it was an EP called Switch that turned into Expectations. After Expectations, I dropped Closer, which is my album before the last one, and my latest album, the R&B You Love. So I feel like I feel like that's all of them. I think so.
Now listen, it'll be somebody in the comments that know about another album.
Nobody,
They'll be like, why
that
you
you
give me
ain't
the
even
covers
say.
album on SoundCloud?
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, it's like countless covers as well.
Yeah.
Like those count.
But no, we want to move your product.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And people need to see what
that's
that
why,
looks
That's
like.
Yes,
why
sir.
we're here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here, man. We are here to promote the culture.
Yes, sir.
All forms of it, especially when it's independent.
I
The
love
real
Yeah.
independent.
the R&B.
See, he said he don't got Marvel behind his R&B.
The real
What'd you say?
independent.
He don't got Marvel
He don't
behind
got,
his.
he don't got Vin Diesel.
Yeah. Hey Vin,
Oh my God.
I need you to say
Are you
this
about to
is-
create a jingle?
I need you to say this is the greatest album you ever heard, Vin.
I feel a jingle coming.
Oh yeah, like, listen, he got his piano and shit, man.
The Fialas.
Did you bring the drums with you?
I didn't bring- I didn't bring the
I got
drums today,
$20.
Do you got it in one? Do you got it in one?
You know me, right? You know I have it in one.
Of course.
I got a stack in the house.
Man,
My wife be like, why do you have all these ones? Just in case I don't make it home.
Hey, we got where's the Supreme Shooter? We need that. You remember
You
the
would have the Supreme
No.
Shooter. Yes, you would.
You had it.
I did not.
See?
I did take it on the road.
We had
So
we
you
had
had
a
it.
Supreme Shooter that used to shoot the ones.
where we going?
Yeah. I know where he going. I know where he going, man.
Brother Kenyon Dixon.
Yeah. Is this the Cogic version? Yeah, 'cause people
And all
ask
your,
why
and all
you
your
sing.
adventures.
Yes,
songs
sir.
you weren't
Yeah.
supposed to hear.
Yeah.
Songs you are finally now a part of.
Yeah.
You've seen, you've heard, you've sang a lot
Yes,
of
sir.
R&B.
Baby, grind with me.
And we want to know out of all these tunes, what's your top five?
Top 5 in the morning.
Your top five. Top five.
Yeah.
Your top five. R&B Singers.
Come on with it.
R&B Songs.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We wanna know you are worth more than $20 on a drum. Let me know your top five. Yeah. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Walk it down, Doc.
Kenyon Dixon,
Yes, sir.
your top 5.
Man, that was a hell of an intro, bro.
Just
That was-
I'm here every
He
Tuesday.
make up a
That
new one
was really
every show,
I'm here
bro.
every Tuesday.
yeah, man.
Top 5 R&B singers.
Top 5. Can we go R&B soul or
No,
just?
it's your
I
world.
mean, listen.
Okay.
You know, Kenny got soul, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
your
Come
world.
on.
Okay.
You gonna do that? Step into the backside? That's where you going?
Step.
To,
Oh,
step. I sing all the backgrounds on
Step
that.
into the.
Yep.
Yeah, yes, sir. That's one of my favorite movies, by the way. Like ever.
Jimmy want to shit.
That's where I got Kenny Got Soul from.
Oh, no.
I swear, that's where I got it from Jimmy Got Soul.
Oh, man.
I sang backgrounds and demoed all of those
Bro,
songs.
I need the demos, bro. I know that movie like back to front, every part. Crazy. Top 5, bro. Anita Baker's first for me.
Your introduction,
Bro,
Your introduction.
Nigga.
she got like it's a little cry that she
It's-
has that just it resonates.
It's so
man.
emotionally spiritual. Just
Yes.
Jesus.
I'm going Anita, Joe Thomas.
Why not?
Joe
yeah.
Thomas is a hero, man.
Man.
Yeah, you called that
He's
man
one of the
by his
greatest,
full
bro.
name.
Crispy to this day.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Mario, bro.
Come on.
Mario.
It's cold.
Bro,
Listen,
he
I
really
just,
sings, bro.
I just said this on my live the other
Yeah.
day that Mario was the next generation's Joe.
He is the next generation.
I 100% agree with
from
that.
that same school.
And he has that accuracy.
Same class of tone.
Yep.
Accuracy.
Yep.
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 Joe is Joe every single time.
Every
It's
single
crazy.
Yep.
So we got Anita Baker, Joe, Mario.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Tank.
Huh.
I have to, bro,
Huh.
because let me tell you why, bro. What I was saying earlier about the representation that the church kids feel for us, hearing you, that for a church kid, it was like, wait, I know this. It's in different contexts,
Wait,
and I know this.
I know this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was an important. You were an important bridge for my generation of church kids who got into R&B. Like hearing Slowly,
Wow.
that's a church song, bro.
Yeah.
Like
of course it is.
we knew. You know what I mean? Yeah, we knew that already.
And I also dance.
See, I don't know if I should shake your hand because Jay kind of told me.
Let me shake his hand, bro. It's slowly an offering.
Jay kind of told me I might be setting myself up. You know what I mean?
I gotta see the tape first. I
don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Thank you, brother. Thank you so much. For that.
My
Number 5.
although I got into her later because I couldn't listen to it when it first came out, I'm going Brandy. But not for typical, like I feel like when people talk about how great of a vocalist Brandy is, it's very surface and they don't really understand.
Okay, well, make them understand, man. Come on, make them understand.
Her, first of all, the impact. But when we look at how young she was singing like that with that
baby.
tone,
Yeah.
but then also it has like progressed and she has this rasp now that adds a dynamic to it and can still sing the same.
Yeah.
So it's like reinventing what you've already heard, but like for the better. Like what we were talking about with Kim Burrell. Like Kim Burrell having that rasp now, but still being able to do what she does. That's a whole different experience.
Add a squall to that.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Brandy kind of picked that up.
Yeah, she got that. She got some ash from somewhere. I don't know where she
crazy,
got it
man.
from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a tough top because I really Faith Evans, Faith kind of got to be in there, bro. Yeah, I kind of can't make a top R&B list and
Faith
not
is one
have
of my
Faith in
favorite
there,
R&B
bro.
artists of all time.
She's incredible, bro.
Yeah. One of my favorites of all time.
She's incredible.
Like she has some of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
Like, she's just
I'm a Faith stan, bro.
I'm a Faith stan.
From Come Over alone and
For
Caramel
sure.
Kisses.
For
Just those two records alone.
That's a
Like,
cassette, young fella.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
you know, man.
I'm
You already know.
really here with you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So
Top
I'm like,
5. Okay, you
No,
got some
you
more?
got it. No.
You sure? Top 7.
Nah, man, I stopped there. Shout out to Jasmine though. Also, because it's such a range, bro. Like,
Top
Which-
20.
it's a crazy range, man. Because you got the R&B, the greats,
Yeah.
like who have already proven their longevity,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got like some people that we got like after who are still in the process of
building, but they still got they part of
but
that
you
pedigree.
know,
though.
you already know,
know,
man.
yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
how
yeah.
Jasmine, like, can't nobody really sing like her.
Nope.
It's kind of crazy.
And it's been like
Jasmine
that since
is
she was
out of
like
control.
11. Yeah.
She's out of control. Lost her mind. You good?
Yeah. Let's go. No, we good with the top. Where we go? 7.
You can 7.
Okay,
Seven's good.
we can do top 7.
Your top 5 R&B songs.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, let's get interested.
Them songs.
Top 5 R&B songs. Everybody's expecting me to say "Return of the Mac" because that's my favorite song in the world.
Nigga,
It's just,
Get me off the couch, son.
it's just one of
I
them.
knew I rocked with you.
You hate it?
No. That song get me off the couch.
okay.
At the R&B
Anytime.
Money Podcast,
I'm spilling a drink when
Return
that
of the
song
Mac
come on.
is up here.
I found my people.
Come on, bro.
I found my people,
Come on, bro.
I get so much hate for
Mark
Return of the
Morrison,
Mac.
bro.
Anybody can tell you that's my number 1 song ever.
It's one of the most incredibly stylistic
Yes.
songs.
The lyric in itself, you lied to me.
You lied to me.
And the mood is exactly the same
Because
every time you hear
he
it.
wanted to be right, bro. He wanted to be
He
right
wanted
for
to be
her,
right.
bro. He wanted to do the right thing. He wanted to
Preach.
turn in his player
Talk the
card.
talk. Talk
but
the talk.
she
And
lied to
I
him.
thought
to him.
about it and you lied. And,
She
and now
lied
I
to
feel-
him. So now,
Yeah.
it's
Yep.
return of the Mac.
Sounds all
Yeah,
like
yeah. I'm back.
I ain't even want to have to do you like that.
That's-
But,
listen, yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do.
Man,
Hey, the coldest stylistic song
That was great.
100%.
ever.
100%, man. I love that song.
Tone
Yeah.
to articulation.
Yeah.
I gotta meet, bro. At
To-
some point,
bro.
somewhere. Hey, lovers and friends, y'all find everybody.
Man, find him.
Yeah.
The Lovers and Friends Festival finds everyone.
Got to.
Find Mark Morrison, then I believe. I will believe in what y'all brand if
Hey,
y'all find. You know what?
I'll
R&B
bring him
Money
out on my,
Festival.
I'll bring him out on my set.
Yes, when we do the R&B Money Music Fest, we find it Mark
You better
Morrison.
believe it.
Will you sing background for him?
I'll do it.
I'm singing
I will
background
do
with
it,
you.
bro. Please.
I'm with you on that one. All right.
Let's see. I'm
Return of
going.
the Mac.
I'm going Return of the Mac. This is R&B soul, but no one in the world, Anita Baker. It's that perfect display of how to emote properly. I listened to that song to learn how to properly convey emotion. I've literally like listened to it on
you
repeat.
you preaching to that,
and it's
man.
the second
You preaching
verse
and teaching.
specifically. Like those lyrics, I can't name you many songs that have a better connection between the lyrics, emotion, and like how it's delivered. Like that's one of them records. To me, It's So Into You is also one of my.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I'm a feel person. The way that record feels, if I had to,
You be crying, don't you?
bro, a little bit, bro. Not a whole bunch, like, and only like when I'm by myself. So. Yeah, like I just turn it up real loud. You know what I mean? But that song, that feels like
What
love,
that girl
bro.
asked you on your album, you had your heart, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I was listening to.
Bro, I was on tour with Tamia.
Oh my God, bro.
All them dates we did every night.
Yeah,
I'd be
she's
out there
so
like
cold.
this.
She's so
That song, that
She's
feels
fire.
like love to me. If I had to describe like love in a song, that it's something so pure about it. Pure about her delivery
and simple.
and simple, but
I
what's
really
crazy,
like what you do. To me.
super simple. What's crazy about it though is then she collaborated with Fab, and it did not lose the emotion of the
Did
song.
not lose the emotion
That is a
because
good
Because
record.
Fab
Fab
may
is
be the best R&B rap
R&B rap
collaborator. I can't get the motherfucking word
all
out.
right.
with
we
Lil Mo.
understand.
That's
Collaboration.
Yep.
Of all time.
I'm with
all
you.
times.
I'm
Collaborator.
I'm
Nobody
willing,
raps on R&B better than Fabulous.
I'm willing to agree with that.
Nobody.
I'm willing to agree with that, man. He understands the finesse of it.
Drake might want his fade.
Listen, and that would be a good fade.
Cole might want his fade.
Nope.
But Fabulous.
Yeah.
But Fabulous.
But where Fab wins, Drake can sing on a record. Fab
That's what I'm saying.
strictly
See, Drake-
rap.
Strictly raps. Yeah.
Strictly rap.
Yeah.
That is crazy to think about, man.
Now, Drake ain't no slouch now.
I think Cole should do more because them Cole Miguel collab.
Oh yeah.
I cannot.
That Cole
I
SZA
cannot
collab that's
argue.
moving right now.
I cannot argue with you, my friend.
Yeah.
I cannot. But
Yeah.
only reason I give it to Fab
It's years
is
of
because
it.
of the span of time.
Yeah, it's years of
True.
it. It's
It's
years
proven.
of it.
The span
It's
of
proven.
time, he never misses.
And so into you in 2024, it's still as important as it was in '98.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to choose between. I'm at a tie for this song.
Okay.
The artist, it's Faith Evans. I'm between Come Over and Soon As I Get Home. But that bridge on Come Over is one of the best bridges I've ever heard in R&B.
I'm gonna go with Soon
Soon As I Get Home.
Soon as I get with my shit.
Either of them could win, but Faith has to be there.
That's my personal. Out of those two, I'm
As
going
soon as I
Soon.
get home, it's just
Yeah,
It's
one of them ones.
it's one of them ones.
Yeah.
it's no words, bro. It's no words. So you can have a tie. Those can
Okay.
be number. What are those? Number 3?
That's 4.
That's 4. Those are number 4.
3, 4.
Those two are number 4.
4, 5.
Yeah, because we
4 and a
went
half.
Mark Morrison, Anita, Tamia, Faith.
Okay, now you got a 5.
My 5th. It's a tough one, man. Very, very tough one. Because there are like the popular classic records that we all know, and then there's just like the records that I really enjoy. I'm gonna go new school a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with How Could You, Mario. That's a record. And he's singing, and the bridge, all the elements of the
might cry.
R&B.
He. Okay. Valentine's.
I made it,
I made it.
Wait, you wrote it?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Oh my God, bro.
Anytime you see somebody singing about a ghetto Kama Sutra, it's him.
Bro.
He's the only nigga.
That song, when we talk about the elements of R&B, and then
Man.
if you try to use a modern artist, it makes sense. That song has all of the elements.
Every element.
It has the feel. It has the production, the correct chord changes, the bridge.
Yeah.
He's really singing. Like
Flawless record.
it's like, man.
Thank you.
Flawless record.
Yeah,
Good
man.
job.
Shout out to my guys. The underdogs. We did that record together.
I'm an
We were a part of
underdog
that.
stan.
Yeah.
I feel like my sole purpose in R&B is to convince everybody that the underdogs created R&B. That's how I feel. Like all of my favorite records again goes back to me first kind of getting hip to Dawkins and Dawkins.
Yeah.
So like it's like a lineage there and like a bunch of consistency. All of like a huge majority of my favorite records are all underdog records, bro. I can't even argue with that. Morning After by Tyrese is another one of my favorite records. And finding out, it's like it's the same people. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Now
There's a
those.
Sonic there.
No, it's
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
a Sonic there,
Yeah.
man. And it's funny that you would pick a record like that.
Bro.
Yeah, no, actually, it's not funny. It makes sense. It makes sense because we talked about the emotion, because those records and that record particularly was personal for myself and for Eric. Our parts on that song were literally about people.
wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And me and him talked about that. It's funny because he had a situation he was going through, but mine was very specific. You know what I mean? Like
Gotcha.
it was juvenile when the thing that I tapped into, because I wrote it about a high school situation. One part of the song
made
was
a
part of
great
a high
record.
school situation where a girl didn't call me on my birthday, and I felt the way about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I say you can't even remember mine. I didn't miss
you.
a birthday, but you can't even remember mine. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
fucked up.
yeah, I felt the way about that. I mean, I had did some shit that made her not.
Fuck
You
off.
know what I mean? Not call me on my birthday, but you know whatever.
Yeah.
10 years later, I'm writing a damn song about you.
He's still on it. You still on it.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And then the other part of that is the one girl I thought cheated on me in high school.
Got you.
Come to find out years later, she said she didn't. I still don't believe her.
You just never know,
But,
man.
you
just
know.
never know.
The nigga said, they both said they did. 'Cause it's funny shit is that years later, or not even years later, but ultimately, we're to this day, we're all still friends. The nigga I thought she cheated on me with and her. You know what I'm saying? That's still my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool. So maybe, maybe
Damn,
I read it wrong. I read it wrong.
Nah, bro.
But I got a hit record out of
gave
it.
us a
But
great
listen,
record. You know what I mean?
you might have read it wrong, but you put the real emotion in it.
We needed that.
You put how you felt in it.
Yeah. And that's what our songs should be about. Our songs should be about real experiences. Things we want to experience.
Yeah.
Things we have experienced, things that, we've had conversations about.
Yeah.
Like the completely fantasy records to me that's just not.
There's no connection there.
It's never been my thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I probably couldn't be a rapper in 2023. I ain't killed enough people. You know what I mean? I can't catch a body in every third bar. I can't spin the block that many times, man. I'm dizzy. You know what I mean?
I'm dizzy.
I'm sorry, rappers.
That's true, man.
I'm sorry, rappers. Just stop lying so much. Shit.
It's true, man. That's that back to that convo about the lack of sustainability. Because once you've done that, what else do you have? You told that story and you made it up. So there's
Who gonna rap about going to jail? That has to be the next thing. Like really going to jail. Like who gonna rap about
Not like Locked Up?
That's
sang,
the closest.
he sang.
He sang that though.
Yeah.
and he put the
sang
bars in the sound of the bars
The
closing
sound
in
of
the
the bars
song.
closing is very
different.
legendary, Akon.
Yeah.
That is very like you feel locked up.
As I sold the last bag, fucked around and got locked up.
They locked me up for real. Yeah.
Kenyon, I'm gonna put a super R&B artist together. We call this the Voltron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with your super R&B artist, you got to pick 5 things for you. Yeah. You got to pick who you getting the vocal from. You got to pick who you get the performance style from, who you're getting the styling from,
Okay.
who you're getting the heart of the artist from, the passion, and who's writing for that artist.
And
So
this
let's-
segment of the R&B Money Podcast is brought to you by Tyrese and Voltron Records.
Oh my God.
He's always here. He's always here
Here
somewhere.
in spirit.
Who you getting the vocal from for your super R&B artist? One vocal.
The vocal, and it has to be from other R&B artists, right?
Has to be from one artist.
One.
Don't have to
Okay.
be R&B.
Whoever
don't have
you
to be-
choose, whoever you want to
choose.
be your lead singer and the ultimate R&B singer.
Vocal. That's a tough one, man. Vocal, I'm gonna go Usher. I'm gonna go Usher because there's flexibility there. So no
Yes.
matter what we need to do,
Yep.
we can get it executed.
Anything.
Yep.
Performance style
Performance style.
on stage.
Somebody that could probably dance too, like you, like Tank. Chris Brown. You know what I mean? It's y'all three. You taking Chris Brown, y'all there.
It's really like Chris is kind of.
I'm gonna go with Chris.
Tank was about to say that Chris wasn't like him.
He's not like that. It's crazy. You pick him over me? Okay.
Come on, bro.
That's-
I already got you. I got you for
That's fine.
another component.
That's fine. That's fine.
Performance
I don't know
style.
what you think Chris is doing that I can't do, but that's fine. If you never,
Chris can fly, man.
you never,
He can fly.
can't fly.
He absolutely can fly, bro.
Usher voice Chris Brown performance style.
Yeah, yeah.
It's already getting crazy. Styling of the artist.
Like
The
aesthetic.
drip. Yeah.
Styling of the artist. I'm gonna dress him like me.
Why not?
I'm gonna dress him like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I know when to put it on.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you keep a fit on you.
Yeah. Come
I
on,
watch
man.
you.
Come on, man.
How you keep a shade of the fit on?
Recognize real.
Yeah,
You know
yeah, I
what
see.
mean?
I see you.
Yeah.
You gotta look. I can pick you out later. That nigga right there. There you go.
That nigga right there.
There you go.
I'm somewhere with some glasses and a jacket on.
There you
It's
go.
always me.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
We getting somewhere.
The passion of the artist, the heart.
I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with you because I feel like myself and also learning from artists like you're a real advocate for R&B. So I think having that passion to, I think it's more so the passion to connect. Because making the music is one thing, you be passionate about that. But when you're in front of people, there's a whole different level of passion that you have to be able to make that stuff translate. So yeah, man, I'm going with you for that.
Yeah.
I told you I got you, bro.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
man.
100 push-ups
Come on,
backstage.
man. Mess with me.
You know it. Come on, man. Fuck with me, DJ.
My nigga,
Fuck with me,
He be back
DJ.
there, he be back there buffing and shit, man.
Fuck with me, man.
Hey, man.
Catch they want to see something, man.
Who's writing for this artist?
It's a good one. I'm gonna give the writing to James Fowler.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got another one too. Because
Get to it.
we need some names that, maybe don't get mentioned all the time.
Yeah.
Who's singing background for him on the road?
Like your style.
Who's singing background
Like your
for him
style,
on the road? Because you
nigga.
didn't throw out some names.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like your style.
Who you feel like is the creme de la
Creme
creme?
de la creme backgrounds.
I'm throwing Luke James in there.
Huh.
And Luke already knows because he has the experience. But Luke also that versatility and that falsetto gonna
Yes.
save you on the
Yeah.
gig.
Yeah.
You gotta have somebody who can do that.
Who can go crazy?
Yeah, you have to.
Yep.
I'm going Luke. Who do I feel like would sound good with Luke? I'm gonna go Luke. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna throw Jasmine in there.
Jesus Christ.
I'm thinking about voice texture.
Yeah.
And Jazz, the type of singer she is, can probably blend with anybody.
Yeah.
It's a smart
It's
singer.
just church. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just church.
Third, who sounds good with Luke and Jasmine? I'm gonna go. Curveball. I'm gonna go Layla.
Ali?
No.
I mean, sorry. no.
Hathaway.
That's the first thing came to mind. It's family. So,
I love women singers with like contralto tones. I like to hear like women sing tenor more than I do
she
men.
has so much depth in her voice.
But think about those textures together.
Oh,
Layla, Jasmine,
that'd be
and Luke.
insane.
That's like
That'd be insane.
butter.
Layla Hathaway is she's an alien.
She can make her voice sing two notes for
She's
God's
an
sake. Like,
alien, bro.
insane.
And she knows it though.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
The way she articulates singing
Yep.
and tells you about singing.
And it
Just
looks so
something-
easy.
just
So easy. She just kind of
rich,
does
one
it.
of the richest voices of all times.
Yeah. I'm
Where
with
she
you.
comes from.
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%.
Her genes are serious.
I like your style.
Yeah, man.
I like what's going on today, man.
What we got for
I
him,
feel like we
man?
got a Cogic moment.
Yeah. Come on, take him back to Jordan Downs.
I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names.
Hey.
I ain't saying no names. I ain't saying no names. Where you at?
You know he came from that church
Who
house.
you with? What you did? Don't say shit. I ain't saying no names.
Yes, sir. Oh my God, man.
That was the I'm sick of this shit at the end.
Oh my
I like
God. That's good.
That. We know that he's not coming back to play for us next week. The way that he just hit the last, you know what I mean?
Just might need a raise. That's all.
He might need a raise.
Need a little-
You need a
need a
different
little
color
raise.
envelope.
Do that funky 20 at me. Go.
I ain't saying no name.
I won't be back.
That's good to me, man. That's good and churchy.
Oh man. All right, so you know this segment, man. It's a very important segment of the show.
Okay.
It's called I Ain't Saying No Names, where you tell us a story, funny or fucked up, or funny and fucked up, in the travels of Kenyon Dixon. The Cogic Kid.
The Cogic Kid. My God.
The lucky man himself. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we need to make sure that we put that in the atmosphere, man. That you win this Grammy that's coming up.
Yes, sir.
Let's get that. Let's get that.
Yeah. We
Let's get
voting for
that.
you. I'm sorry because I gotta actually relook and see the rest of the people that's in it. But
category?
I'm voting for you because I am a voter.
I appreciate you.
You know what I
man.
mean? And I
Yes,
want
sir.
you to win.
I appreciate it, man.
But yeah, man, we need a story, man. I ain't saying no name story. Something
I got a
good. I know you do.
God.
I know you do because you know you been there.
I tell you one, this is more so like, I like this story because there's a lesson in it. There's
Okay.
a lesson in artists and songwriters needing to know their business and what they're getting into.
Yeah.
So my first, I had signed my first pub deal. I was young. You know what I mean? Now I would know, don't sign this until you have already had records that would, increase your leverage in negotiating. But you're young. The money looks like, well, this is more than I ever had.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So sign a pub deal. I had an MDRC deal, which they don't exist anymore. My deal was percentages.
It's been
for
mentioned.
everybody watching, yeah.
It's been mentioned on this show.
So, like, it was based on percentages.
What
And
was your MDRC?
it was like 2.5. But,
2.5 songs?
well, 250%. As a co-writer, if I'm walking in sessions, though, and I'm only getting something out of 50% of the composition,
That's 10 songs. That's 20 songs. That's
It
2.5 songs. It's whatever. Yeah.
And you know how-
depending on how you do it.
a long time.
Take a minute.
A very long time. So I was in a deal, and I was actually like turned off by collaborating early on because my mind was thinking,
I gotta
like,
get
nigga,
through
you
it.
ain't never about to get to
Gotta get through it.
250%.
Right.
Especially
I
like
need 5 of these 50s.
exactly. And when you do sessions, like when you just starting with like, publishers, they put you in sessions, it's like five other people. So I'm sitting in the session like, man, I'm finna walk out of here with 3%. And I gotta get to 250. That is a lot of songs. And even like as a writer, like young coming up in the game at the time, even if you land a big record, you're not about to get the whole 50% of what you wrote. So I'm like, okay. So all of my money, all of my fulfillment of the contract was based on a project I had written on, and I had written a bunch of songs.
Okay.
And I'm counting. I'm like, yeah, we finna get out of here. Finna get to this next. It's actually gonna roll me over into the next option. And then, because I only had one option in this contract. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be good.
Niggas be doing publishing numbers like niggas be doing prison sentences.
No,
Yeah.
for
So
real,
then I
bro.
got 66% on this one charge. So they're gonna let me out. You know what I mean? For good behavior.
Yo, that's
And I got time.
That's
served.
I got
essentially
time served.
That's essentially what happened.
Nigga, this
though.
is what. Oh my God, this is jail talk, bro.
It for sure felt like jail. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm counting. I'm literally like looking at my splits every other day to make sure that the numbers that I'm calculating are real. I'm like, okay, so this 13, this 25. I'm like, that add up. We crossed 250%. I'm sure. Finally, turn in the records. The artist went independent in the middle of that process.
Oh, no.
So little did I know in my contract,
Independent. Right?
doesn't
Had
count.
to be a major release. Had to be a major release.
The independent didn't count. So here I am with like
All of
7,
it.
8 records.
Yeah, all of it.
And they're like, yeah, no.
We're not counting that.
None of this counts.
Go
And
back to your cell.
literally, that's
Go
what
back
it
to your
felt like,
cell.
bro.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that, I just remember like, bro, that had like turned me off from music. Cause I'm just like, I'm never getting out of this publishing deal. Cause you know, like when you're in it, and especially like when you're young like that, you think the only way out is if they let you out based on you fulfilling everything.
Right.
I'm not thinking there's no loopholes or like, so I just remember like feeling defeated. I'm like, I'm never writing another song, doing another session. Like, you know what I mean? And it just so happened that the publishing situation just kind of like resolved itself. And luckily, I was just able to get out of the deal with no real like no real consequences. I was able to just kind of get out. I had to let go. In order to get out, I gave up a lot of publishing on songs that I had already written. That's how bad I wanted to get out of the deal. However, I was smart. I read my statements. I knew you've made all the money you're gonna make already. You've made all the money you're gonna make already. I knew what songs, that made sense to give up. But that for me, man, that felt like the end of the world. And then the money had been gone. Like,
of
course.
Yeah, that advance. I'm talking about as soon as I got it, I went, first thing I did,
What'd you buy?
I went to the Beverly Center, bro, bought some Gucci shoes.
You gotta go to
and
the Beverly
and I was
Center.
young, you know what I mean?
With
Like,
my first
yeah,
little
gotta go to the
chalupa
Beverly Center.
too.
Yo, I was
couldn't
like,
find nothing. No,
I was by the Beverly Center. I was at Globe Tire.
Yeah.
You got to go by the
Yeah,
Beverly
I
Center.
had 5,000 cash.
Talk about
You know what I mean, with the bank envelope.
Uh-huh.
It's like, you want the envelope? I'm
Yep.
like,
Yeah, I want
look
the
good.
envelope.
I want the envelope. Take with me too.
bruh.
I spent $40 on something.
I
couldn't find
was
nothing.
I was like 21. I was like 21, 22. I was super young. So that money was gone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it wasn't a lot. Like, so I just thinking like about the reality of being stuck in this deal, and if I go make some money, basically y'all still get to take it. I gotta live off of, you know what I mean? What y'all gave me that's been gone. Like it ain't there no more. Thank God for touring, because then that's the money I can make that y'all don't touch.
Yeah.
So it's like I just it put me in a weird position, man, and it turned me off for a long time. And it took me a minute to start collaborating, especially because thinking about having to get to that 250% made me be like, man, I'm just gonna write everything by myself because I don't want to have to, go through that. So yeah, that was a testament to like, it was weird because when I talked about it after, had a whole bunch of people around me like, oh, everybody knows not. Why y'all niggas ain't tell me this? Why y'all let me just sign? You know what I mean?
Right.
So I talk about it because I want to inform other writers and artists coming up. Like, yo, know what you getting into before you just start signing stuff.
But I think the other thing that the artists and writers should be mindful of too is that there's this thing called renegotiation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wish someone would have been able to have that conversation with you before you got into the mindset of, I'm so turned off by this that I don't, because the truth of the matter is that the work will get you out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It may not be the work for doing those songs that many and that, but if you get the record, that shifts everything. You know what I mean? And we spoke about Justin Timberlake earlier. Justin Timberlake was the shift for me.
Yeah.
Me writing Celebrity for NSYNC completely obliterated my whole deal. Like it was a wrap. Like, oh, y'all think I'm gonna show up for what y'all gave me for before I had Celebrity? Y'all show rabbit ass mind.
I need more.
I need it. So either y'all gonna give me this crazy amount I want, or y'all gonna let me walk, or we gonna figure something out. But
That's true.
It's the success and is what changes these deals. Like people try to fix their situations without having success.
Very true.
Right? Most people complain about the bad deal or the bad person when they don't have more success. I don't give a fuck about who or what I dealt with early on in my career. That shit was par for the course for me. Just me personally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some people are like, oh, well, yeah, every deal ain't gonna be, it's not gonna be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially to the party that has no success yet. It's going to be lopsided.
Yeah.
Your first deal is going to be like, why would I give you more when I have to invest.
Right.
You're not gonna run to the bank and say, yeah, so I won't buy this house, right? I think
You should give me this loan.
you should give me this loan.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have to pay none of it back.
Yeah,
What?
you sound crazy.
It's not how business works. We gotta really start understanding and preaching business to people. Like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you should know what you're signing 100%. So that you can be at one with what that deal says.
Yeah.
Because maybe you need that opportunity. And if you don't need that opportunity, you don't have to sign it.
Yeah.
But stop saying what somebody made you sign unless they actually physically,
Took your hand and
you know what I mean?
Yep.
If you signed it at your own free will and you were a grown up, I don't want to hear that shit, man. Not me.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody can say I signed them to a bad deal because I haven't done no bad deals with no people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm saying for people who have done deals that they consider to be bad. Hey, man, if you sign under your free will, you got to deal with the consequences of that deal.
Yeah.
There's some shit that I was signed to for years. I had to work my way out of it, bro. I took a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I needed that money.
Niggas was signed to some bad shit.
You know what I mean?
I was signed to some good shit, but it was just none of the shit was honored. it was just
That's a whole nother conversation.
it just wasn't honored.
Just vibing.
Like, but it says I'm supposed to get the you're not gonna give it.
Nah, facts, man. It only took. See, for me, that was my first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like just introduced to the game and introduced to a contract.
yeah.
So it was like, and what's crazy is the lawyer. You know, you got to be careful who you have do these deals because sometimes they know who they're negotiating for and be
They're
like, this is a quick bag.
friends.
Yeah,
They're friends.
100%.
Yeah.
So like, for me, it was like, to the lawyer, you know, it probably wasn't a big deal. He probably does like 15 of these every day, where he's just like, yep, there go another one.
Yeah.
So like, I'm grateful for the lessons I learned from it because now I won't sign anything without understanding what I'm signing. So that's the positive in it. It made me learn everything I could. Every term, if I don't understand, I'm looking it up. I'm asking questions. Like, I want to know what this is. What does this mean? Like,
The information is available to you.
Yep.
That's the key right there. The information is available to you.
Yeah.
Right? But what sometimes isn't available to you is how you gonna pay your rent.
That's
And
real.
sometimes you have to, that is a trade-off.
Yep.
I did not want to have to move back home.
Yeah.
I didn't want to have to move back home.
Yep.
Actually, I wanted an actual bed. At the time, I had no bed. I would sleep on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shit, I got to do this deal, man.
Yeah.
We'll see how it works.
Yeah. That's a very real part of it.
It's a very real part of this business, bro.
Yeah.
So,
It takes the stories, man, like that. Like nobody that's really in this shit don't have a story like that. You have to. Because this shit takes all you
Part
got.
of it.
yeah.
It takes all you got.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't stop, bro.
Yeah,
Because we need
for
you
real.
in this shit.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
you are a needed voice, pen.
The R&B we love.
The R&B we love, man.
Appreciate y'all, man.
For real.
That's good shit. I love that. The R&B you love. I need a t-shirt.
Yeah,
Hey,
we
man,
get
say
the
less.
t-shirt.
I got
Straight
you.
up,
I
baby.
got some
merch cracking.
I got some
man.
merch for you.
Give me
Yeah.
that. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
yeah.
Give
That's
me some.
easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tank.
I'm J Valentine.
This is the R&B Money Podcast, the authority
Yes.
on all things
All of it.
R&B, especially the R&B you love.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be doing this for a long time, my brother, and you have in no way peaked. You are going special places, man.
Yeah.
And I pray and believe that for you.
Appreciate
You got a
man.
home here, man.
We waiting on the
Thank you.
gospel album too, like your
They're gonna be waiting.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kenyon Dixon, y'all.
Yes, sir.
R&B